Okay, guys, in the second half of this podcast, this is something I've wanted to do for a long time. I kind of wanted to take a little bit of stigma away from mental health and getting some help with it. So you guys get to see a raw conversation between me and a therapist. I've been trying to find a company that would do this with me for a long time because I just want people to know it's obviously not as scary as it seems to be. So BetterHelp was kind enough to point us with a therapist that they use and sponsor this episode. But this is a true conversation with a therapist, and I get very vulnerable, and I hope people can know that it's okay to get help if you need it. So that'll be in the second half of the podcast. Here's like a little taste of it. But I don't understand how they are feeling this joy and feeling this like passion and feeling these amazing, euphoric, happy, essentially feelings towards everything. I have a hard time really feeling joy in most things. And all right, and now into the first half, which is more of a regular podcast. What's up, guys, and welcome back to the Dropouts podcast. This is episode 214, and we promised ourselves we would only do 213, so we're big fat liars. Also, speaking of big fat liars, we want to start off the podcast hot.
Yeah,
and 1 out of 4 of us have been doing dirty, cheating activities. And we're going to call you out momentarily.
Oh, we're doing it right now?
Huh?
Are you getting into it?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, is that how you feel?
I mean, okay, Alyssa, here's what happened. I went to throw something in the trash earlier today, and I saw this.
Okay.
It's a chew. Did you eat this?
No.
Who ate that? Who ate that?
Why does it matter? We've always, stuff has been in the trash. Also, people, yes, we do have them, but people throw shit in our trash all the time.
This was
in our.
I know, we do have them.
No,
Oh,
I
in
know.
our trash can?
Yeah.
Well, Rachel came over the other day, so maybe she had one.
It's very convenient.
I was going to say, it is very convenient that Rachel all of a sudden comes over.
There was also a McDonald's bag in there. Did you get a Diet Coke with that?
Swear, no. I got McNuggets.
You told me you had this big.
I thought we had her dead to rights.
Also,
you don't want to press her anymore?
You literally told me the other day that you had nicotine.
That was a lie.
I know, but the whole day. And then you called me that night and you were like, did you have sugar? And I was like, no, because I still have to finish.
But
We have to get
this
that thing DNA tested.
smells like
Does it
Alyssa.
smell like her?
Yeah.
You guys are ridiculous.
Inconclusive. I don't know how to connect that to her.
Like,
All right.
also, that, even if I did, I don't think that's a big deal.
Oh, it is a big deal.
That's not a
Chocolate
big
chips,
deal.
added
Okay,
sugar.
so now she.
Zach,
No, but-
look at the nutrition facts on that.
It's
Or
got
the
No,
Seven-
but what I'm saying is we've literally had 0 calorie, 0 sugar brownies the other day that also have chocolate in it.
but that's
these
zero sugar. This is real
There's
added
7 grams
sugar.
of
added sugar. Yep, 7 grams of added sugar. It
Oh,
says
now she's.
Oh!
I swear to God.
To give context, they're in a competition together that people don't know. Skyler can't have added sugar or nicotine, and then Alyssa can't just have added sugar.
Or soda.
And I got her on the ropes.
All right, guys, hit some intro music. All right, guys, it's that time of year again. It is the Summer Bash finale of our Patreon special. You have a 7-day free trial where you get to see drunk episodes that we can't post on YouTube like this. Salud.
I feel like he doesn't know what that means, and you
Oh.
just said it because, like,
God bless.
he thinks that's what people say.
Oh my God.
It means like cheers.
Dude.
No, it means God bless. Alyssa! Sorry for yelling. Alyssa, look at me. Alyssa, look at me. Look at me. Look at me. Look at me. I don't know where the hell I'm at.
I think you can't
Okay,
be mad at me.
I
I
feel
don't know
like
where
we should
this is
end
going
this
on.
podcast.
No,
This-
you're
what?
not even
What?
in
What's up?
shot right
I
now.
know.
Check the shot.
No.
Should we go out
I
now?
just checked it. You're not in it.
No,
Where am I?
We got to
You're
an hour.
so far below it. You got to sit up.
No, we're not an hour.
Don't make me.
Oh, you know Zach's gone when he can't open his eyes.
Zachy poo.
You also get a ton of bonus content. We're about to put out a series of when we went on tour behind the scenes that you only get to see on Patreon. It's pretty fun and cool and sick and nasty. You also get to join a wonderful community and get Xboxes and Nintendo Switches and blah, blah, blah every month. So if you want to be part of the team, head below and get on that Patreon. Now into the regular portion of the podcast. And Jared, I need to tell you something.
Oh, wait, hold on, real quick. I think we should call Rachel and ask her if she had
Smart.
a cheerleader bar.
Uh-oh, look at her. She's terrified.
I will call her.
Give her a little
I
call.
don't-
Give her a little
No,
call.
because it's just, that's weird. I'll call her after. I don't want to do that. on the
Yeah, because you don't
podcast.
want called out on the podcast.
Just text her and say, "Did you have any snacks for you over here the other day?" We have her against her.
Dead to rights.
I can tell from her face, dude.
Okay, like, no.
Wait, look me in the eyes and don't smile.
I can't do that.
Okay, but if you smile, it means you're lying, and then
But you know I always smile.
we've never seen you smile once.
I always do. Like, even if you press me about this. This is like,
All right, send the text, and we'll see if she responds during this podcast.
Don't you send a prefacing text either.
Oh, you're a prefacer.
She's texting way too much.
Way too much. All you need to write was, "You have snacks?" ?
Did you have snacks the other day when you were here?
If so, what were they?
And then she's going to follow up with, when was I over there?
Uh-oh. Did you have any boys over while we were gone?
I don't care if you did it. Just tell me.
We got to be honest.
did I have any boys over?
Yeah.
No.
Why'd you think
Because
about
I
it?
You hesitated.
Because I feel like I'm being like,
Interrogated.
just explain what
Well,
happened.
you are being interrogated.
How was San Diego? Your
Oh,
big
I have.
boys trip.
I've got
Trying to change the subject.
Well, what are we gonna do? Wait.
I've got
I
several.
didn't have any boys over.
I've got several qualms with Zach.
Me?
You did a lot of spiteful things to me.
No, I did not. Name one.
Okay, so we get there on Monday, Tuesday,
No, we got there on
Sunday.
Okay,
Saturday.
So the story's already false.
Time flies. We got there whatever day we got there. The next day, there's an Amazon package at the door. Zach throws me at this thing. He's like, "Here, I got you something." It was a book. You know what it was titled? How Not to Die Alone.
You just went through a breakup.
That doesn't seem relevant.
That's definitely relevant.
That seems perfectly relevant.
You were heartbroken and you opened
Yeah,
up to
right.
me.
She was a fucking loser.
You know,
I'm
you've
just
been
kidding.
crying over her all week.
Have you?
No, I didn't. No, there was no cry. I would say. So here's what happened.
You shed at least one tear.
I shed a tear. So it was pretty fine throughout the week, actually.
I don't know about that.
I mean, like I think the first day was bad because I found out the day we left that we weren't dating anymore. That's the way you want to put it. I don't think we were dating then at that point. But and then during the week I felt pretty good most of the days, and then the day before we left, I felt it was a bad day. I think it was just like knowing I had to like come back, and
Yeah, the reality was really
Yeah.
starting to hit you.
It gets a little chippy.
I didn't. Obviously, I'm not.
Ripped your
When
heart
I
out.
when I said I was kidding when I said that earlier. She's great, and she's gonna find someone great.
You get chippy, like as in you get mean when you get sad?
Yeah.
I wasn't. No. I wasn't mean. I was trying to be alone, and then I would have like people like Miss Gina ask me a million questions.
You want to talk about being interrogated? Go through a breakup around Miss Gina.
What, you just said I did something bad to you. So you go through a heartbreak.
Oh.
I get you a book so you can study love, and you read all of it. How is that negative?
And I will actually say I didn't like the act. The act of you could buy a different book without that title, or buy the book and rewrap the title. Like maybe you're not gonna die alone.
I didn't
said
come
you
up with the
liked it.
title.
I know you change it.
But you read it. And I also got it for Alyssa. She didn't even come close to opening the first page.
Wow. It would actually.
I did read the first page. I just want to finish my other books that I have first.
I actually do recommend the book. It's great, and you are the biggest hesitator. There are like 3 different love categories, or like people you can be in relationships, or like going out trying to date.
There's romanticizer, which is what?
Romanticizer is like you're hoping for like love at first sight. You're hoping that they're gonna approach you. You're hoping for like all that kind of stuff. Then there's maximizer, which is like you always want to weigh your options. You're
Wonder
always
who
looking.
that is in the room.
Seeing if there's anything better out there. Anytime you're in something good. And then there's hesitator, which I think I am. I think you are as well. It's like you're waiting for like yourself to be right before you can start dating. When you should just get out there and start dating. But besides that, there's
But
also
isn't that a good thing?
no,
That you need to
because
wait for yourself
no, because
to be
you're never
okay?
because inherently you're never going to be okay with yourself.
Yeah,
So,
but
like,
you don't want to have the other, like your partner make you feel complete. Like you want to feel complete.
no,
on your own.
but you want to be able to put yourself out there and then work with your partner
Yeah.
as you figure out yourself too.
No, I get that, but I think if I would have put myself out there right now, I would be looking for something in somebody else to make me feel like better about myself and more
Yeah.
complete.
I think you got to read the book.
Yeah, the book's great, and it has stuff in there about like what you should look for when you are dating.
I would feel more
Really
of a
good stuff.
romanticizer.
Oh well, yeah, you're that too. You're definitely that too. But you are the biggest.
I think I'm
hesitator.
a little bit of all three, to be honest with you.
Which is
Yeah, you're picky too.
the trifecta.
They-
Oh yeah, my mom was saying that. She's like, yeah, I tried to set Alyssa up with one of the most gorgeous men I'd ever seen, and she goes, not attracted to him.
When you're all three, it's like the triangle of sadness. It's just it's despair. But it's good though because it has like stuff in there. It gives you like tips and stuff to get out there and date. Because
Yeah.
you got to get out there.
I need to finish
I'm gonna let some
Atomic
time
Habits
pass.
first.
I'm gonna get out there.
You're gonna what?
I need to finish Atomic Habits first.
Nah, skip that
How
one.
far are you into it?
A few chapters.
No, read the other one.
You're never gonna finish it. Might as well
Sometimes I just don't feel like reading, but I enjoy it when I feel like
This
it.
one it was like 200, almost like 300 pages, but it's like super easy. I read it in like 3 days. It's not hard.
We were also at the beach when you have nothing to do at the beach.
Well, so many things to do with
Yeah,
the beach.
I didn't really read. I read it at the beach a
There's
little bit. The
Shell
last day.
collecting. There's sand counting. That covers it, actually. You're right. There's not much.
But so that was the first thing that set me off a little bit.
About who?
You. And then the big one, the big one.
I didn't do anything
The
big.
the poopening.
The poopening wasn't my fault.
Oh, brother, so your fault.
How was the
Wait,
pooping?
how was the pooping his fault?
You don't even know what happened technically.
That's
Jared.
true. I've
You
been waiting
haven't heard
3
this.
days for this.
No,
story.
we're sitting at a dinner with all
No,
of my
no,
family.
we're sitting
Look
at a
at me. Hold on. And you look me in the eyes and you say, I have to defecate.
Yeah. But
And I, as a guy that's wonderful, and I say, okay, they got a bathroom here that's pretty nice. You should go here before we get
No.
the long drive home.
no. But you know, as we've talked about several times, I don't like pooping in public. There's like one place I'll go, and it's Belk's.
I get that. Yeah.
No one's there. And so Zach was like, no, dude, go. It's he's like, it really is so easy. Just do it. And so I was like, fuck it. You know what? I'll do it. I went in there. He's like, no one's even in there. So I went in there. A guy followed me right in. I was like, well, I can't do this right now. So I turned around
I walked right.
and came back out. Sat down at the table. Some more time passes. Zach's like, did you go? And I was like, no. I was like, some guy followed me. We went in at the same time. I was like, I just couldn't do it. And he was like, okay, no. He's like, let's go now. How about you go now? And I was like, I don't really want to. He's like, I'll go do it first. I was like, did you have to poop? He was like, I can work one up.
I was just trying to be friendly.
No,
I was trying to,
yeah. But he's like, I was like, no, whatever. I'll go. You've talked me into it. I go. Okay. Bathroom, completely empty.
Good.
There's only one stall and one urinal. So I beeline for the stall. I go, I look. There is probably an 85-year-old man
I'd go 92.
with his shirt off. He has like hung it up and he's just shitting. And I look at it.
Wait,
The door, you thought no one was in there.
The door to the stall was wide open.
You didn't see the feet under?
No, because I didn't
Usually,
look.
yeah, it is.
'Cause, like, the-
stall open, you don't think to
Yeah,
look under.
it's like an open border policy.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's like if Kamala Harris. Joking.
you just waltz right in
Yeah.
if the door's open.
Yeah, I didn't think anything about it. So I went, old guy, 85. He had his shirt hung up. I don't know
Which
what
I
for.
love.
I don't know what for.
He probably got really hot because he was,
He was shitting.
yeah.
And I'm like, oh my God. And he was like, oh. And I'm like, I said, here, let me close this door for you. He said, all right. So I grabbed the stall door and I try to close it. And then I like turn to walk out and then the stall door slowly starts opening again.
He's like, hey.
And I'm like, fuck, that's the problem. He just didn't lock it and it just keeps opening. So then I had to stand there. I just held the stall door closed
So nice.
while he just shit.
So nice.
And put his shirt back on.
Well, I waited. Well, he by the time he locked the urinal and then I walked off. So I didn't see him come out of the stall, but
I feel so bad for him.
I feel bad for me.
Yeah, I feel bad for Skyler. He went
fucking-
through
But
the
you just
trenches.
like, he's just so old and you can't help.
How is that my fault?
Because you pushed me to poop in public when I told I don't need to.
You couldn't make it home.
Wait,
But also, this wasn't a normal poop. This was like day after drinking shit.
Oh,
You know,
wait, did you ever go to the bathroom?
nope. Held it.
The
Scared
whole way
scared
home.
the shit right out of me.
and it was like a 30-minute ride
tighten it
home.
up, I guess.
That was near the beginning of dinner, right?
Yeah, it was
So
it was appetizers.
It was near the beginning of dinner, and then we went and got ice cream afterwards, and then we still had a 30-minute car ride
and
home.
me and you had to wait on an Uber.
I would have just Ubered home, went to the bathroom, and came back.
It
Well,
was like
it was too
40
far.
minutes.
It was too far. Not
Yeah,
worth
we
the
were
Uber.
we were like on a different island than
Meanwhile, Jared's at a table with full-grown adults, and so there's one server who's a woman, and he's like, can I get like a chocolate milk? And she's like, of course. Yeah. Here, come get a chocolate milk. And the person that brought the drinks was the manliest man, probably 6'4", yoked, tattoos, bald head. Looks like he's a UFC fighter. And he like walks up to the table. He's like, who got the chocolate milk? And then Jared kind of looks around like, who did?
I think you know what? I actually did that. That
That was me with the chalky milk.
And not only he came over and he like tapped my shoulder, and it was just so emasculating. I've never, because his hand was so big on my shoulder, and I felt very small and weak in that moment.
He was a calcium Casanova.
You got chocolate milk at dinner?
He's nuts.
What else did we do while we were there? Me and Jared tied one on one night.
Skyler comes up to me one night and he's like, why don't we just burn the town down? Let's just go out and just see what happens.
Little heartbreak heater of a night.
God.
There's one bar that you wanted to go to, but it was way far away. It was probably like 3/4, maybe a mile away. And he's like, okay, so we're going to end the night there, but we're going to hit every bar on the way.
You almost had sex with a carny.
I didn't almost have sex with a corny.
Yes, you did.
Chill out, dude. No, we hung out with people that worked at a carnival.
You called them carnies. Don't come up like I'm like this
I think that's
degrading
I think
person.
That could be a derogatory term.
That's what you told me.
They were like,
They work for the San Diego Circus.
so they were in the show, like a circus.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah.
like a bearded lady type person. Or
Well,
something.
chill out. No,
She was bearded?
No.
What was their act?
I think she was an acrobat, right?
She was an acrobat, and she had just recently like blown up her Achilles or something, and so she was out for 9 months or something. But when we were at the bar, we were sitting at a table, and you would have loved this bar, Zach. It was
Wasn't
like
invited.
It was, yes, you were. It was like the beach version of Barney's. It was fantastic. But we're sitting at this table, and these two girls walk in, and one of them's on crutches, and so Skyler immediately starts rizzing her up. You know, he's like,
I was just being cordial. I was like, do you want to sit down?
Yeah, do you want to
No,
sit down?
you just
right
like
next
easy
to me?
targets. You're like a hyena. They go.
Chill out.
You're like a hyena. They go for the ones that are already hurt, so they can't like
No.
run off. That's what you did. You're like,
I was being a gentleman.
you want to see how strong I've gotten in the last 3 months? I used to be 260. Now I'm 221. You were probably saying that right in her ear.
No, dude.
You did say I would have taken her home, but I didn't know how to navigate a broken Achilles.
I didn't say that.
Yes,
I
you
said,
did.
No. I said I wasn't. I was like, I'm not in the. I told Jared that. I was like, no, I'm not in the mood.
You did tell me.
No, I said in addition, I was like, that's just another thing that I can't figure out. You know what I'm talking about?
A broken Achilles?
Yeah.
Well, it depends on how recently it was broken. It could be
I
just
think it
a
was
sore.
like,
It was fairly recent. I think.
Pre-surgery, pre-op.
and then I wanted to have some clarity on this because I was pretty drunk at this point. Do you know the bachelorette party?
Yeah.
Okay, so the bar we were at, there was a bachelorette party happening at the table right over from us. Did I approach them first, or did she come over to us first?
One of the girls came over to us first because she was a fan of the podcast.
Yeah.
And so she just wanted to say hi, get a picture. And then you asked what they were doing there, and she's like, "Oh, it's so and so's bachelorette party."
Got it. And so I was like, I wanted to buy them a round of drinks because they were celebrating. So I bought them around. I take it to the table. Never met these people in my life. The one girl was a fan of the podcast, but not her. The other four, they were like, "We're so sorry about your breakup." I'm like, fucking chill out.
I know you had just come over like the hero with like 5 high noons.
I just took them and threw them out the fucking window. I was like, "What do you do?" I was like, "How do you?" They're like, "Oh, we're such big fans of your ex." I'm like, "Cool, thank you. Have a good night."
Skyler comes over like Superman, and they just stab him with kryptonite.
Yeah, as I don't have enough. I can't even defend myself because I have hands.
The alcohol. I don't know what it is with you and family trips, but you feel.
Oh my God, you were on a bender.
What are you talking about? That
chose
was the
you-
only night I got drunk.
No,
No.
you got drunk the first night because you were sitting next to my aunt, and you said, "I want to figure out how to domesticate a deer."
Yeah, you also said you wanted
Where
a
did I say
pet.
that?
You said you wanted a pet donkey.
Yes, you did say that.
No, I said, when did I say that?
You said that at Moe's.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I wasn't drunk. I did get tipsy, but she was just asking, like, we were talking about, like, where she lives, and she lives on a lot of land, and she was talking about, like, we started talking about animals, and I was like, when I'm older, I
said-
want, like, a lot of weird animals, like, that you don't normally have as
You
pets.
said my biggest dream is to domesticate a deer
It is.
into
It's
but you
one
weren't
of
drunk,
them.
and you were saying that into my aunt's Eyes.
Yeah, I
And
love
her
deer.
husband wasn't on the trip this year. So I don't know if you were trying to.
That was not me flirting with your aunt.
And also,
You're
Jared,
trying to domesticate my aunt.
No.
I would see Jared every morning, and he would have a high 9 a.m. high noon. In his
Yeah, what's going on with that, man?
It was 10 a.m., okay, because we wouldn't get back from breakfast until 9.
crack a high noon, and then it was just high noons all day. 2 espresso martinis at dinner, 3
He's
more
on
high
vacation.
high
Let him
noon.
live.
Thank you. I'm on vacation. And also, like, those high noons don't really do anything to me.
Yeah, well, because you built up a tolerance.
Oh wait, I do have one more note from our big night out. I heard the best quote ever. Do you remember what the guy told us outside of the food truck?
Oh, vaguely.
This random guy. I don't know why he said this to us, but he said, "When you're in Tokyo, sip the sake slow."
It's a good guy.
I mean, that's just a testament about life.
That's a guy going around speaking truth that you gotta. That's a riddle.
What does it mean to you?
It's just like wherever you are in life, enjoy that moment.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
I
saying?
need that embroidered on a pillow.
Yeah.
When you're in Tokyo, sip the sake slow. Like, God, that is so poetic.
Yeah.
It's because it's
You would see that at an Airbnb in Tokyo.
Oh my God, 100%.
it feels like it's a new take on When in Rome, but it's like really
Yeah.
sit in it. You know.
Yeah.
But it was funny. So Skyler and I ended up. So this was the same night that we went to go burn the town down. So we were at that beach bar for a little bit, and we met this nice group of people. And they were like, "Let's go to this other bar." And it was supposed to be like a country bar or something. And then we walk outside. It's closed. We go to a different one. That sucked. Anyway. We're there at the taco truck. First, we try to go through the Taco Bell drive-through with no car.
Oh yeah, I forgot about this. Me and Jay were just trying to boot scoot through the Taco Bell, and the guy was like,
What did you act like you're a barnacle boy and mermaid?
Yeah, basically.
Dude, I literally,
Jared was- yeah.
the inside was closed, and so I walk up to the box outside, and he's like, "Dude, you need a car," and I was like, "Brother, the inside's closed. We're just trying to get some Taco Bell," and he's like, "You need a car," and I was like,
Why is that a policy?
I don't know.
'Cause I think the idea is they don't like, because if you're walking, you can jump in, steal, and run.
And you know what? That makes complete sense.
I think they had a problem with that.
Couldn't you just do that if it was open at any restaurant?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So what's the big? I could steal it if I was in my car and drive off a lot faster than me running.
you
Yeah.
know,
Policies, brother.
policies, they don't make sense sometimes.
In Savannah, they have a walk-up drive-through.
See, that's what this
Taco
town
Bell
needs.
does?
No, it's a McDonald's.
But so he's like, "Brother, you need a car," and I legitimately said to him, I was like, "We're in an invisible one."
What he said?
He's like, he basically was just like, "I don't have time for this."
Did you know we should?
Were you drunk?
Yeah, you know.
I was hammered.
Oh, our goal was to have a drink at every bar we went to. It failed because like the first bar we went to, we had 2, and then we had 3 at the next one, and then we had 2 more. I think I had like 12 drinks or something.
Oh yeah, it was ridiculous.
It was sinister, and yeah, it was bad. And so we were pretty tuned up by the end of it.
Did you ever make it to the end bar?
no.
How many bars?
What was the bar we wanted to go to?
I can't even remember the name.
Oh
but-
yeah, Thrusters.
Oh, it was
down,
called Thrusters?
Yeah, it was down across from Dirty Birds.
Yeah.
Never
But
made it there. No.
the only thing that I remember about that bar is that they had like a neon sign with a guy going like this, you know, and it said, "Digital influencers can suck it."
I was
That's
asleep.
funny.
And then so after the Taco Bell, we finally settled on this taco truck that was parked immediately outside of the Taco Bell.
Oh, I bet that was so much better.
Well,
Check this out. So we go up to order. The woman doesn't speak any English, and so she has a woman on FaceTime taking orders.
I love that.
And so I'm trying to tell this woman, but her English isn't great either. I think she was on a FaceTime with someone else.
it was just a
I think
chain.
an infinite chain of FaceTimes. But
All to try to
we
get
ordered
some
like
burrito.
$60 worth of food. We got 2
At a
boxes.
food truck.
Yeah, we got 2 boxes. Nothing right.
Yeah.
And we just went on our merry hammered way. Jared was like, all right, Jared, I'm gonna get an Uber. We're not walking home. And he's like, I'm walking. And Jared just hoofed it a mile.
Dude, I love walking when I'm drunk. And so I also like I knew I needed to walk it off. But also I wanted to stop at the 7-Eleven. And so I stopped there. I had the burrito in one hand and I got a protein shake in the other. And then I hoofed it a mile
You
down.
should have just went in the ocean. That would have been so fun.
And
so you
die?
Ubered home?
Yeah, hell yeah. I passed by Jared. I laughed at him. What an idiot.
I got stung by a stingray.
No, did you really?
No.
Oh.
I had blood on my foot, and a stingray was in the vicinity. I didn't look down when the blood happened. Could have
Did
been
you
him.
step on a sea urchin?
I would
No.
never.
He
Why
stubbed
does
it.
he
He stubbed his toe.
I didn't stub my toe. This was on the back of my ankle.
He stubbed his toe on a shell.
No, I did not. It was the back of my
A
ankle.
broken shell, one of the small ones.
It was the back of my ankle.
That's even more embarrassing. You stubbed your own.
I didn't stub anything. I was attacked by a sea urchin, maybe.
You just said you would never.
Was it painful?
No. But there was blood, and I got sympathy from
From who?
I think I told my mom, like, I'm bleeding. She goes, what? And then she looked at it. She goes, oh, it's not bad.
I don't know. Were you out there when I lost it on your mom during cornhole?
Yeah,
Oh,
you're not very
no.
gentle.
No, not at all.
But
I
I
feel like
mean,
I'm gonna get a phone call and be like, I couldn't stand Skyler.
no, we were pretty good most of the time.
That was the last day, right? So that
Yeah.
was the day that you were really like in a mood.
I think you got to realize when the mood's happening and go exile.
Oh, I
yourself.
know. That's what I did at first. I went to the beach. I was sitting at the beach by myself. She came out. I had my headphones in, and I was just here like, Skyler, because I could just hear the faint. I'd be like, yeah. So you loved her a lot. I gotta go. I'm listening to a podcast, Miss Gina. Skyler, you're not good at this, huh? I'm like, okay, thank you. Have a good day.
Why?
Nailed it, though.
Why
You aren't
don't
good
you
at this.
like?
And then later that night, she was like, I didn't realize that that's what was going on. I'm like, how the fuck did you not? I do have a question for you guys. I thought about this last night when we were packing up to leave.
Okay.
Where do you think you look the least athletic?
In normal instances?
Yeah, like for me, I realized last night it was getting in and out the bed of a truck. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Bad.
Chasing something that's fallen on the ground.
Chasing something.
Oh,
that's
like
falling.
a ping pong ball or something.
Okay.
Mine is any flexibility, anything.
Yeah, but that doesn't look like unathletic. You just don't look. You're just like, yeah, you can't touch your toes.
Okay, I'm just trying to throw some stuff out there, man. I didn't have anything.
I'm just the most athletic person ever.
No,
You're
that's-
not even athletic.
I'm very athletic. I'm the most athletic person in this room.
Lost at cornhole.
I'm gonna say
I didn't lose at cornhole. We didn't play, you and me.
Yeah, fear lost. He quit.
I didn't
asked.
quit. No, you quit the last time we played. Let's not get into this, man. This is different.
Zach's getting real heated.
Jared, what's yours?
Going up any flight of stairs.
Oh, you think you look unathletic doing that?
What are you going up on all fours?
No. It's not that I like look unathletic. It's just by the time I reach the top, it could be 4 stairs or something. I am out of breath.
Yours
Like-
might be playing basketball.
Also that.
Yeah.
Also,
yeah, that and like when we were at the boxing thing that in New York. That's when I first realized you were a Wii Sports character.
that
Wait, that was the joke you made the other day.
I know.
That's
That's what I'm saying. That's when it originated. That was your villain story. You were bouncing like this. I was like, oh my god.
well. To be fair, he's a lover, not a fighter. He's not confrontational.
Yeah, that-
so if he ever does get in a fight, it's not going to be good.
I legitimately think that was maybe the first actual punch I've ever thrown.
You should start hitting people.
Should I?
It's a good pastime.
Just hitting people
Well,
like
it's good for a
random people?
well, this is what I'm thinking. You hit people, go to jail, and then you come back out and you really help people that have been hurt.
with like anger issues and
Yes,
stuff.
yes. It's a full.
I just need the
circle.
redemption arc.
Of course.
Also, you know, it's another bad one for me, and I put it down because skimboarding.
Have you ever
Skimboard.
skimboarded?
Oh, I used to do it all the time when we would go to St. Augustine. But I mean, I caught it on someone videoed it one time.
I'm sure.
Sayonara. There with that dream.
I'm sure watching any of us boogie board is not a
Boogie
sexual.
boarding's better though because you're partially underwater.
What do you do?
Oh, paddle boarding. That unathletic.
Oh, paddleboarding's so great though.
No, it was
so
it was
easy.
fun, but I'm up there just woo.
You
woo.
were flying though, dude. We were
Yeah,
trying to
because
flip.
I was getting chased for like 35 minutes.
Well, the point of paddleboarding isn't to like race where you are like, ooh, it's just supposed to enjoy yourself
Yeah,
and
try-
like, be on the water.
Try telling the 5 people chasing after you trying to knock you in for half an hour.
I was trying to knock you up. The other 4 trying to knock you in. But what's the thing where you think you look the least sexually attractive doing it?
having sex. I don't know. I really think walking. I hate myself a lot of the time.
Oh, if I could go third person perspective and see myself playing that tower stack game in the arcade, that was probably one of my ugliest moments. I'm like hunched over, like hyper focused on this game, playing it so much that my like hand is cramping.
You're just eating wings.
He had that locked
I
and
thought
loaded.
but you have gotten better. We talked about that.
You did do better last time.
Yeah, because you guys pointed it out when we were.
There's certain instances where bullying is needed, and you eating wings looked like you were like slapping off God's chickens. And I just need you to know, you have done a little bit better. Mine might be working out just because I'm not very strong.
No, it's not because you're not very strong. It's because like Zach does this thing when he wants to get through sets. He just throws
rip through
form out.
Okay, I was gonna say that.
He just like whips his body around. It's insane.
I was
And
tired.
he wonders why his back's fucked up a lot of the time.
My back is a permanent issue.
But I was gonna I was gonna say that when he brought up weightlifting, because that one time like I ran the mile or whatever and then took a little rest and then came back in to get my bag. I could see him doing like shoulder presses and he's just.
It's the end of a workout. I'm just trying to leave.
You look like one of those inflatable things.
No. I'm steady.
dealership.
I'm steady. I'm just fast. I'm steady.
It's worse with like the worst ones is like when it's any sort of rows because he's shuffleboards. It's incredible.
You're not going to see any results if you do that.
You will. It's just
No.
But you're gonna
he
get
looked-
fucked up
he looked
on the
pretty good
way.
with his shirt off the other day.
No. This was what my uncle. So I had my shirt off playing cornhole on the beach. And my uncle comes up to me. He goes, "Dude, you got to start working out." And I was like, the funny thing is I have. He goes, "Who's your trainer? A fat guy?" And then he comes over. He bean dips my titty. And he goes, "Ew." And then I was like,
a 5-year-old
like,
boy.
"Thanks, man. That makes me feel really good." And then we were watching, or he was watching TV. I come upstairs, and it was some movie where like this guy was ripped and jacked, and he was like, he's like, "Dude, if you looked good, you could get some of these roles." Like if your body looked good, he's like, "But apparently you don't care." And I'm like, "Yeah, man, thank you."
Was he trying to be funny or
No,
No,
like
he'll
serious?
just let me
being a
know
smart
things like
ass.
that.
Oh, good.
He got Jared pretty good too. Jared the other day, he was asking like what time we were leaving to go somewhere. It's like the arcade. And then Jared was like, "Oh, are you gonna come with us?" And he was like, "No, I just fucking asked you when you were leaving for no reason. Of course I'm coming, you idiot." He was like, "Oh, chill out. Dude, we're on vacation."
It was so aggressive. I just didn't know he was coming with us.
I do appreciate that one. Sometimes you're like, context clues were there, and I had to flame you a little bit on that one. And listen, now anytime I look at my body, I wish it was different. So maybe that'll make me work harder.
We talked about this while we were there. One of the most sensual things on this planet, people rollerblading.
Oh my god! And they
Why
don't
do they
even
do it
mean
so
to.
sexually? No, it's insane.
Because that's what the form is. It's supposed to be smooth and
God,
kind of wavy.
It's just like the Garden of Eden and the snakes going around, brother. He just wants to get in there.
There is some type of science. This doesn't make sense with what you just said. Actually, one person told me this, so I don't know how much science
all right.
is.
Push
But
back.
apparently, when women are like wet, not that kind of wet, but like actually,
Sweating.
no, not even sweating, but just kind of come out of water and
any form of wetness.
yeah, guys are more attracted to them.
Really?
There's some science. Someone told me there's science to it.
That's why I'm attracted to Shaq.
What?
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 Shaquille O'Neal.
But when
What
is
is-
he wet?
He's always sweating.
That is true.
I don't know if it's a sweat thing. I'm pretty sure it's like a shower
How do you know
But-
unless you smell?
But here's the
smell.
If it's sweater,
Oh, I know. You can't pick up on it. There's a big
I mean, you
difference.
can't most of the time, but like you never know. It's their margin calls.
Oh, speaking of smells, you ever been just out in the wild? You haven't had you've seen this girl. It could have been however many years ago, and one of their scents just sneaks up in your nostril, and you just flooded with memories, and you're like,
Oh my God.
"There's
there
nothing
was,
worse."
There was one time, I forget who it was, but it was like out here in LA. Somebody had the same perfume as one of my college girlfriends, and I almost had a panic attack because I got overwhelmed.
After
Oh, panic attacks.
I had just gotten over one of my girlfriends, and it was like a year later. Like it took forever to get over her, and then my stepmom came up and sat next to me, and I guess she just got a new body wash that the essence was her. And I just remember her sitting down and just everything in me turning to ash.
The phoenix arose.
It never rose. The phoenix swelled into death.
But also, speaking of smells, that same uncle that was bean dipping your nipples.
God.
The last night we're there, we're packing up everything, we're getting ready to go. He's already in bed, and my suitcase is like in his room. And I walk in.
At least he warned you. He goes,
I walk in the first time, and he goes, no. And I was like, what? He's like, dude, I just ripped ass. And it was the worst smelling thing.
it permeated the bottom 1.5 floors.
It was the bottom 2. I hit the second floor. I was like,
But the funniest thing was that so Zach and Skyler weren't staying in the same house. They were staying across the way or whatever. So they walk over, and like I'm in the room when they walk in, and I can just hear Skyler, did somebody shit themselves?
it was insane.
It was
nuts.
crazy.
I mean, it was worse. It was the worst thing I've ever smelled in my life.
It was an act of like war.
Yeah.
You know.
He didn't mean it though. It was a misfire.
Did he not mean it?
He didn't mean
Because-
for you to come in and smell it. That's
then-
why he's saving your life.
But then we got everything packed up. I was like, okay, I'm going to do a quick little double check. I walk into the room again. He goes, brother, I just farted again. Oh my God. It was like mustard gas. It was insane.
Did you share rooms with him or?
No, I am in like this little cubby that's like, you have to.
There's like
climb-
nowhere for most people to stay in this house.
Yeah.
He sleeps in essentially an attic, but and it's
Yeah.
like 1 by 1.
I like the little like cocoon that's up there.
So
I
you
got you,
guys
man.
had your own house?
Yeah. Well, I got one next door because there's just no room. Except for I guess that one bed.
But the good news is the one that we stayed in came with a $600 window unit. Didn't it? Oh wait, no,
Air conditioner.
you ordered that.
A what?
Because Zach was so uncomfortable because like he couldn't just open the window and let the fans go. He bought a $600 window unit that he thought was a fan. Number one,
Was
and then
it
he gets here.
$600
How much was it?
for 15?
Nine.
What was it, a Dyson?
No,
No,
it's like
it
a
was-
huge window. It's like a Brio. It's like
Did
It
you
was an
take
air
it with you?
conditioner.
oh yeah, it's in the truck.
Oh, okay.
But he was like, oh yeah, he's like, let's get this fan open.
Is
and I
that
saw
the-
it, and my ex had just put one in at her house, and I was like, that's not a fan. I was like, that's a window unit.
Is she gonna buy this other one?
I didn't ask.
Oh yeah.
Hence the ex part.
I don't know. You guys. Last time you guys were exes, you guys hung out every single day. So I don't know what it means anymore.
I guess I don't either.
You do.
I gave you so
No, I
much,
do.
I gave you so much hope. You're like, yeah.
No. It's dumb for.
Maybe you need to go to therapy.
No, you know what I do need?
You do need
No,
therapy.
you know, but no, I do need therapy. But you know, the like breaking up or getting out of a relationship with it doesn't matter if it's like someone I really like or someone I don't like. It does do it. It's like hard for me because I think I just like I'm so anxious. I just think about like I just think that like I've done so much wrong in it a lot. So like it gives me the worst panic attacks.
Yeah, you had a few of those.
I mean, like bad. Like
the last
yesterday
couple
was
of days.
really bad.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Like you were just. I could tell when it was happening because you just kind of like stare off into space and you kind of go like radio silent.
Well, yeah, because the drinking
Also doesn't help.
And then, so we drank one day, and the last 2 days, the third whatever day, Thursday was fine. Friday was bad.
That was the day after drinking.
Thursday was the day after drinking, right?
Was it?
We left on Friday. Today's Saturday.
Oh yeah.
I
today's-
felt fine.
Happy
with it.
Saturday.
Yeah.
What do you think? What was your biggest takeaway from the book in your own relationship?
Oh, I don't know if I want to get into that.
Okay.
You should get into it.
I did learn. I do think it was good. Like there were things in there that I recognized from the book that like I recognized immediately that like I did wrong. There's also stuff that like I don't think it's wrong. It's like part of her care, like just part of her that made it hard for us to work. But yeah, no, it was basically that. I will say it did. One of the good things about the book is like going forward, it really they're pretty dead set on like you don't really need to. You have to be attracted to the person, obviously. The only two things that really matter when looking for a partner Like fuck
Kindness.
and what's the other one?
I don't remember.
Emotional intelligence. That's it. So if you find those two in a partner, you should really stick with them because that's like
Really?
yeah.
That's it.
What makes someone emotionally intelligent?
I don't know. I think that's I would say that's sort of like whatever you think it is. I don't know how to describe it. Like, but like generally it means that like I know. Let's say I know when you're depressed and I like know how to help you cope with that, or like I can just like talk you through stuff, whatever it is.
Or you know your own feelings and can communicate that.
Yeah.
In a way that's not like angry.
Attacking, yeah.
It's like I feel angry, so I'm going to yell.
Yeah, for sure.
And kindness is a good one.
Yeah, for the kindness thing, to like just take them out like to a restaurant and see how they treat the server, basically.
What do you think funniness would fall under? Because that was my mom always says, she's like, find somebody who makes you laugh.
I think that's one thing that like varies from like whatever personal. Like for me, I want someone that like makes me laugh. But you know, I think someone might not, but people don't need that though.
That's true.
Like someone might be like, you know, but two sad sacks not laughing about anything. They love each other.
I think as long as the woman understands where I'm coming from with intent and jokes, like I really appreciate that. Like they don't have to be this person.
Oh yeah.
It's like cracking jokes all the time, but as long as they're fine with my personality and like,
which I feel like that also stems from like emotional intelligence and like being secure in knowing your intentions, your emotions, and then their own. You know.
Listen, since we got deep, I think this is a perfect time to transition into the therapy talk with BetterHelp. I do appreciate you guys letting us talk to one of your therapists. It really does mean a lot. I've been wanting to do this for a long time, so it means a lot that you guys were able to help with that. So this is very raw, very emotional at times, but I hope you guys find some kind of...
You can connect to it a little bit, maybe.
Yeah, I hope you guys can connect with it. I hope maybe it'll take down a little bit of stigma for you. And even if you're in a good mental place or a bad mental place, I hope you give talking to somebody a try. That's kind of what I wanted to accomplish with this. I wanted to do it for years now. So I'm excited that we can try it out.
Zach, I'm Sunny. I am super, super excited to work with you today, have this conversation, and just a little bit about me and how I work as a therapist. Yeah. So I do narrative and bibliotherapy. So basically, I help people reauthor their lives through conversations, the retelling of stories that kind of stick with you throughout childhood and beyond. Sometimes I find that we adopt those stories, but they're not true. So I kind of work as your editor, so to speak. And then bibliotherapy is just, I use a lot of books. I find them to be helpful. I see that they help clients a lot, especially when they can see themselves in the book. So whether it be a self-help, nonfiction, fiction, if I feel like it calls to the client, then I use it.
Great. That's wonderful.
Okay. So tell me a little bit about your mental health journey.
Yeah, I would say growing up, I didn't understand the concept of depression or really negative thoughts or really how anyone could even, get their brain into that setting. Like it really didn't make sense to me till I started experiencing it probably around like 19 years old. And then it's kind of just carried weight with me and until now. Like it's been definitely difficult to, I guess the overarching theme is it feels a lot like I'm almost attempting to observe humanity in the sense of how other people do it, but I don't understand how they are feeling this joy and feeling this like passion and feeling these amazing, euphoric, happy, essentially feelings towards everything. I have a hard time really feeling joy in most things, and I don't think that like takes away from my drive necessarily. I hold myself to a very high standard, but yeah, I have a hard time. Like, say everyone goes to a bar or everybody's in a room laughing. It's almost kind of like I'm like distanced from it, kind of watching it happen rather than also experiencing that joy. Or maybe I'm faking the emotion so people around me don't feel like I'm taking away from their joy or their excitement.
Exactly. So you're just kind of in the room or of the room, but not a part of it when you're in those situations.
Yeah. And I don't think people would also maybe pick up on it. I think they'd also understand like, oh, he brings so much to this event or this party or this this conversation. And I do really have a ton of empathy and love for other people. So I do want them to feel, even though if I don't feel that way, I want them to definitely feel like they're getting some type of benefit, whether it is just a funny conversation or a deep conversation when in the room with me. Like, I don't want to take away anything from their human experience and whatever that event is, even if I don't fully feel, what I need to feel in that moment.
So why do you feel the need to put their human experience above your own though? Like why do they have to get something out of it?
No, I don't see it as like they have to get something out of it. I just know we all live very like difficult lives. Everyone has their demons in their closet. And if there is an attempt that I could give for them to have a little bit better moment when they're interacting with me, that does make me like that does feel like it's serving some type of positive purpose.
Okay. And I feel like that's a noble piece to do. But when I work with my clients, I ask for them to be radically selfish. I feel like the word selfish gets a very bad rap. But when it comes to therapy and working one-on-one with someone, I want them to feel comfortable with being selfish and putting themselves first. So I get what you're saying, but then who does that for you? You know what I'm saying? You're not having those same human experiences from what you're sharing with me. So is there anyone or anything that kind of plays that role for you that you're doing for others?
I think to speak to the selfishness, maybe I would be more selfish if I knew what brought me that joy that I see in other people. I don't think I understand like what that is. Like you could surprise me with the nicest car in the world outside, totally free. And I wouldn't have the genuine like feeling of excitement. And that doesn't come out of, entitlement or thinking like I deserve anything. It's just like, it's almost like my emotions can't muster up that excitement and joy, which like if I showed my mother or I showed my friends, like I showed them like this car or they experienced, any mundane thing in life that's like really beautiful to them. Like I would also like to experience that excitement and joy and emotions.
For yourself. Okay. So when you started feeling kind of like the depressive moments when you were 19, right? And then you said it's kind of just stuck with you. Was there anything that triggered that, so to speak, or anything that kind of brought that on for you?
Nothing that I can truly pinpoint. I mean, I've always thought it was in high school and like throughout my adolescence, I was always in a, very safe space with my friend group and, life was figured out. Everything was ahead of me. But I don't know, there's no exact pinpoint. I just know I was very happy and comfortable in the life that I was living when I was young, and everything still had the magic in the air and the possibilities of what the world could be for me. And now it's I think I'm very good at like executing the things that I want in life on paper. It's like I want to work hard. I want all these things and I'm able to execute on it. But I was like, I want to write down, I want to be happy and feel joy in this moment. Like I don't know how.
You don't know how to connect with
that
that.
happen. Yeah.
Right. Okay. So from a self-awareness piece, you're aware of what you need to do, I guess, to get to the next step in life for like a professional setting or just in a general, this is what society kind of says setting. So I know I need to do X, Y, and Z. Right. Is that what I'm hearing? Okay. But just from you to like paint a picture of this is what it takes for me to be happy, you don't have that answer.
No, I don't think so.
Okay. So then could you tell me what it would take for you to be sad? Like, can you, I guess, express other emotions to me and tell me what triggers those emotions for you?
I would say people in my life like hurting in some type of way, whether it's, family, friends, them having some negative quality of life, or even strangers. I don't know. It really affects me when people aren't like, though I've worked very hard for what I've achieved, I always feel bad for the people that aren't in like the same now privileged position as me. And it's very difficult to enjoy like also the things that I have because I see people, just passing them on the street, or people not enjoying like their dead end job, or, my mother being in maybe a fight with a friend. Like it's all these things that I wish I could take away the pain of those people. But so that does affect me and hurt me. And then other things that, make me sad. Yeah, I would probably say that sense of being the most like alive in the room to other people, but then not feel like I have that actual human connection with those people. So.
Okay, so I'm definitely seeing the pattern of the empathy that you spoke of and really feeling for others. So on the flip side, the people that you love, would you see them, I guess, happy, or you see them enjoying different aspects of life? Does that do anything for you?
Oh yeah, I mean, I have it really, that is something that I definitely enjoy seeing, and that I really seek out in their lives. Like that's like I love nothing more than when someone does well. I don't have an ego when it comes to people even doing better than me in my field. I understand everyone has unfair advantages or different things that get them to where they're at. So I'm very thankful when people succeed.
Okay, so nice, but still not that personal, I guess, feelings of joy. So even if it's something small, you can't name for me 5 things that you really enjoy.
I mean, I have things that I enjoy, but I think it's more of like the over, like I guess in my context of feeling joy. I mean, there's, the very simple things in life, like going to the movies and seeing a great movie, coming home to, my dog, loving me more than anything. I, riffing and raffing, banter with friends, like all of that is definitely enjoyable, but it's hard to, I don't know. It's hard to make, I don't know if it's a life out of a lifelong, longer than like a moment that just fleets,
Okay. So then if that's the case, then how would you describe your default setting to me? Right? Like day to day, your gauge is at where, right? Outside of how other people view you, but day to day, how would you say your default setting is?
uh, is that on a scale, and in what context?
You can put it on a scale. So when I say like your default setting, let me explain it like, you know how you're driving somewhere that you always know how to get to, right? It's just second nature. You just find yourself driving, you're just doing it. You're just kind of going through the motions, but it's normal to you, it's comfortable to you. So when I'm asking your default setting, would you say your default setting is content, sad? Again, not what other people see, just when you're going through your day to day. Does that
Yeah,
make sense what I'm asking?
yeah. I think it's just executing. Like I have a list of things that I want to get done, and it's just kind of plowing forward and putting the blinders on to the sadness and the depression that is chasing. And if I'm busy and I feel like I have some type of purpose that's moving, my company forward or my people around me forward, that it definitely feels like it's some type of purpose, which when I just sit alone for a whole day, not doing anything, then, sometimes those demons can run up your back without you knowing. And then you're in a tough place. I feel like I have to do so many steps, whether it's like reading or sitting down or going for a walk or making sure I work out. Like I have to do all this regimen to get me in a headspace that other people just seem to have without having to get there to feel like they don't want to just deteriorate within themselves, if that makes sense.
That makes perfect sense. So when the demons are coming and they're chasing you in a sense, what kind of comes up? Like, what are some of the thoughts that kind of replay?
I okay, it really is more of a feeling of just this just drowning underwater in some type of darkness. I don't know if it's like a pinpoint of, hey, this, like, you don't, like, careful, like this could happen in your life, like you could die, like that's scary, but like I don't have, like, that's not really it. Yeah, it's not really a pinpointed fear. It's just like an overarching, like, drowning fatigue that comes over, and it's, it's wondering what the purpose of absolutely anything is. So.
Okay. So then with your regimen that you have in place, was that regimen created by things that you saw others doing, or is it something that's actually been helpful to you?
It's been helpful in different times in my life. I notice when I read, or, I go on that walk, or I do some of the things that have been studied, like exercise, I will be taken out of that funk that is approaching where my day is easier to get through if I'm able to do that. And then if not, it's definitely, I'm definitely fighting an uphill battle in my mind. And it's harder for me to do work. It's harder for me to conceptualize the meaning of really anything.
Okay. So do you find that it's hard for you to have downtime then, or like vacation time or relaxation time? Because it sounds like from what you're sharing with me, as long as you have your blinders on and you're able to like move forward, check things off a list, so to say, with like your business or your work, then you can kind of keep it at a baseline. But what happens when there is no work? You know what I'm saying? Like if
Yeah.
you take a break, what happens?
I think there's definitely no downtime for me, at least in my mind. I could be sitting down in my bed, scrolling, or I could be just watching a movie, or it could be doing anything that's considered downtime on vacation, feet in the sand, and I'm still thinking about things I could be accomplishing in that moment. Like those points of downtime don't bring me the fulfillment as I could be doing this right now. And I haven't seen that as a negative in my mind, because, a lot of people see work as work. It's not, it's not the joy, it's not the hobby, it's not this other thing. But for me, like, it is. I like figuring out those problems. My mind doesn't stop working. So when I have like a complex issue in front of me, even if it's quote unquote negative in the moment and it's hard for me to solve and it might be causing me stress, it's also something that keeps my mind turning and working, and that helps soothe everything else.
Okay. So then background question, just so I can get full picture. Are you an only child? Do you have siblings?
I have siblings. They're half siblings, so I didn't grow up with them. Also an adopted sibling that came later in life. But yeah, so they're all older than me. So I mostly grew up with my mom until I was 10. And then we moved to South Georgia. I had a stepbrother at the time. And then I had like somebody in the house. And then later we adopted someone, and then got closer with my siblings as I got older. So mostly just by myself with my mom.
Okay. Yeah, you were giving me some only child vibes a little bit.
Yeah.
It's good to kind of get that full picture. So then if it's not work, right? Keeping your mind going, then is the other setting just depressive thoughts? Like, are those your only two settings?
I mean, I can be, I can joke around with friends, and I can be lively in the room, and there's very few people that do that for me. But even in those like laughing situations, since I am in comedy and since I am in podcasting and speaking, it's like, oh, that's really funny. That sparked that other idea. So my brain's never off from experiencing or like working, essentially, even though that's not manual labor. Like I'm very blessed in what I do. I used to work in construction, used to work as a like restaurant serving, and so yeah, that's no fun. That's where you just walk in and you're like, yeah, we just got to get out of here. So the things that I do, like when I say like my work, that's why I don't consider it as much work. Of as more of just like solving problems.
Okay. So I will take that. So since you have now said, okay, my mental health is kind of coming to an head. I am, I'm struggling a bit more with this. The things that I used to do still work, but maybe not consistently. So now you have sought out help. What I'm guessing is like the goal for you, and how will you know that you've made it across the finish line?
Yeah, I think the goal is I do envy, if I do envy anything, it's the contentness and maybe the light in other people's eyes when they're, they see that bird flying and they're like looking at it with such wonder and like, this was such a good day. We just went, we got a sandwich, we talked, and like I couldn't ask for a better day. Because in my mind, I totally appreciate days like this, and I understand why they're beautiful and wonderful, and I feel that gratitude for them. But I don't know if I feel that same chemicals of excitement that are in other people's brains. So I guess an end game for the mental health would be, just to feel like other people. That'd be pretty nice.
Okay. But even though it has to be specific to you though, right? Like you're not going to find the beauty and the excitement the same as others because everybody's unique. So I mean, your eyes light up a bit when you talk about your work. And I'm not saying that everything should be about that, but from what you're sharing, you do have pieces of that. It just looks different from what you see other people doing, but I feel like that's okay. Do you struggle with feeling like that's okay, or do you feel like
No, I think that's completely fine. I've kind of come to terms with, that being my hobby and also, my monetary way of existing. It's I don't know. But even then, like even when the best thing in the world happens to me in the context of the work, like there's no sitting in that enjoyment or feeling like proud of myself. Like I'd never have a sense of feeling proud. So it's just like, all right, cool, figure that out. Because not in it. I mean, this is going to come off arrogant, but it's like, yeah, of course. Like I was going to figure that out. Like, yeah, like I'll figure out the next thing. Like it's no sense of, I think I'm better. Or I think I'm this super smart guy. It's just like, I do have a confidence. Like I don't lack that. It's like, all right, I'm going to figure this out. I just got to put in these hours and minutes. And then once I accomplish it, it's like, okay, I knew I was going to do that. So like this
on
is
to the next?
pride or joy in it.
Okay. And so for that, because I mean, what you're speaking to, I feel like that level of confidence is needed in a sense. But to your point, it can't just be on to the next, on to the next, on to the next without taking a moment to be like, wow, I've accomplished a lot, or wow, I am proud of myself because yeah, I knew I was going to figure it out, but I still did it. It's still something to be, worthy of praise. Um,
And I think I have tried. Like things have gone well in the past, and I'm like, this is in anyone else's life. This is something that should, be really recognized in the individual's brain of like, wow, like you did that. Like that's nuts. Like I could understand that should be the feeling. So I try to take the time and like sit down and be like, or like go out to a dinner or have some type of reward. And I don't get that satisfaction of, yeah, good job. I'm like, just like, okay, yeah, let's just, like I tried it too many times and be like, great job, buddy. I'm like, but I don't care. I could care less.
So then, okay, let's take it on back again to when you were 19 and you said before kind of like the light went out. So you used to get excited about things. You used to have moments of like euphoric joy.
Yeah. I definitely did. And I'm really struggling. Like that's one of the big things in my mind is to remember what that was and for what,
Okay.
Because I assume, like the next thing is like, what was that for? And it was like, it would be for the same things that I can do today that I don't know, just felt that way. And it felt like a light switch one day. It was just like, okay, this existence is a little more dull.
I was about to say, has it become too commonplace? what you're doing. But it sounds like you challenge yourself as well too. So that's where I'm getting stuck.
Yeah, same. And yeah, and it wasn't like always accomplishing things easy. I mean, when I first, it was always a struggle. Like I first moved to LA, lived in a 2-bedroom apartment, 900 square feet with 10 guys living in it, living just like dollar store food. Some days you couldn't really eat. If I went out to dinner with friends, I would always say I ate before, and just because like you can afford anything. I was like that for a few years. Slept on the floor for a long time. And so it always wasn't always like the gravy train. Like this is definitely something I could recognize that I worked for, and very few people can get to the position of where I am now based on where I've been. So yeah, I mean, I kind of wish I had that. I kind of wish though I definitely like recognize I have a lot of privilege and blessings in my life and unfair advantages. I wish I could see more of, yeah, I did struggle and I made it to this position. But in my head, even when I was sleeping on the floor and I couldn't eat that day, it was, okay, yeah, but you're going to figure it out. Like this is like, it's the same thing, plugging away no matter the situation.
Right. That's just kind of like your mantra then.
Yeah.
You can figure it out.
Yeah.
And so then in doing that, right, what about others when they celebrate you or when they celebrate your accomplishments? Does that do anything for you?
No. I'm like, thank you guys. That means a lot. That I really appreciate them putting in the time and the effort. Like that doesn't go unnoticed. I am beyond grateful and appreciative of like the little things of anyone taking the time to think of me. And though I have a lot of viewers and listeners that are in the millions, like every single one of their individual lives and thoughts in the positive ways that they either reach out to me or experience what my output like doesn't go unnoticed. Like that really, I have so much care for those people, and that they'd even take the time for that means the world to me. But it's, I'm still not like in the room, like recognizing that I've accomplished something great.
So then moving forward in your day-to-day, like shifting things, because as you're working with your therapist, I'm sure they'll give you tips and tricks and all those things to try. But I guess what happens if those things don't work? Like what would you be open to as far as how far are you willing to go to try to figure this out?
Yeah, I think I've tried a lot of different things. A lot of the tips and tricks start with, like that morning routine or that routine through the day, or any type of routine in itself. Yeah, the tips and tricks, I have exhausted myself with a lot of them. So, I mean, it's just continuing on and continue trying. I don't see it as something I'll just stop trying, because it does bring some sense of, it eases it a little bit so I can go through the day. Because if I just completely stop trying, attempting to fix everything, I know it would just regress. So,
Okay. So do you ever have any frustration that this is something that you have not been able to figure out?
oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, of course, every day it's like, oh, this is frustrating that I can't live the human experience to what I assume it was meant to be. It's like you get one shot at this overarching life, and if I can't find the joy in things I'm able to accomplish or the things around me, I'm not living an authentic, finite time in this universe, which is a little sad.
Yeah, I feel that. So you don't want to feel like you're wasting this chance, this life that we're given.
Mm-hmm.
So beyond all of the good things that you do, beyond, watching out for the people that you care for, being that laugh for them in the day or whatever the case may be, or providing enjoyment for them, you still have that piece that in you is just not connecting. And so I do want you to focus on maybe trying to think, because you're doing the tips, you're doing the tricks, you're doing all of the right things. I just want us to try to figure out, and I know our time is running low, maybe one thing that you could try to do differently, even small. have you thought about maybe like mentorship?
I have it in different senses. I don't know the context you mean of the mentorship, whether it's like a mental health mentor. I've had different people in the past that I've talked to, career, business, and then also, I've talked to people at length about this mindset of who has had it, and still who does have it, and it's for people that are like me. It has been that constant struggle. Most of the time, it's been I haven't fully figured it out like you. For the people that seem most similar to me.
Yeah, I was actually thinking about for the next generation of people that are maybe interested in like the things that you do, the way that you do it, or like that person that's just getting started out that is sleeping on the floor, or you spoke to the people that listen to you and the people that you appreciate that have kind of helped you build your company to what it is today, maybe kind of giving in that sense and seeing if that could bring you any joy is what I was speaking to.
No, that's definitely something I want to get into. I do love the education portion. We're already in talks to do a couple things at schools, and I spoke to USC at one point, and I think a lot of people try to gatekeep when they're mentors. They try to gatekeep the tips and tricks or the work ethic that got them to where they are because they're scared of people passing them. But I think it's more what we owe the next generation is like the start of the car, like the next iteration of the car, they learned how to make it better and better and better. Where if I give you everything that I learned, so you don't have to go through the struggles and trials and tribulations, you can far exceed anything I've done because you have a farther runway. So that's something I really want to, when I do teach people who want to do what I do, I want to make sure it's coming from a place of, I hope you pass me. I hope you do things way more incredible than I've ever done, because we stand on the shoulders of the people before us. And if I didn't have all the people that I learned from before me, I wouldn't be where I'm at. So I want to make sure that I bring that type of mentorship that is not always common, because when someone passes you, they might even look back like, oh, I did it better than you. But I wouldn't be where I am if I didn't do the things that people might not even be with the position I'm in now, but I would never be there without them. So when they pass me, I want to reiterate in them, it's okay to pass me, but now that you can teach other people, you got to teach them everything new you know that I didn't know, so they can pass you, because that way we're always evolving.
Exactly. So I love that. And I love that you're already tapping into that, because what I've gotten from this conversation from you is that the way that you're viewing life, right? You're seeing, as you should, like that it's bigger than you, it's bigger than your accomplishments. And you want to have, as you said, the human experience, but it has to be unique to you. And everything that you've shared with me today has been around, like I've always been able to kind of figure things out. I like a challenge. I like hard work. When I have my blinders on, that's when I'm most productive, things of that nature. And there's nothing wrong with that. But I feel like your joy is more so intrinsic to those things. And so I feel like if you're able to kind of tap into that in a different way, and again, lift up the next generation, I feel like maybe that could spark some joy for you. Like, I'm not a magician. I don't know. I don't have a crystal ball, but just from our conversation, that's kind of what I got, that your joy could be tied to that, something in that realm.
No, I do really appreciate you bringing that up, because that is something I've really been studying on how to do the right way, and how I want to, leave some type of impression of a roadmap for the people that are watching. And though I do very silly things online and comedy and I make jokes, there is some sort of science to getting to a certain level. I'm not the highest, but I'm at a level where other people aren't. So it's fantastic to be able to help and have people learn. So I appreciate you saying that, because that's definitely something I've been looking into and I'm going to continue to work on. And I hope that brings me some type of something I've never felt before. And, I don't know yet, because it's not something I've fully plunged into. But yeah, I know we only have, I think, 3 minutes left, but I do obviously want to thank you for taking the time and kind of exploring my mind with me. I know this is just like obviously a therapeutic conversation, and deeper therapy is over months and years because of how complex people's emotions are and unraveling it all. But I think this is a good step for people to see, and I think it takes out if I can be a leader in maybe your mental health isn't great, but you're actively trying to fix it, I think that's also something that's very important to me. And I do have a lot of people that watch and follow, and to take away the stigma that being vulnerable and talking to people is any form of weakness is something very noble for you and the people like you that do it. And I hope I can spread that nobility with getting the word out like this. So I do want to thank you for your time. Obviously, you've done a great job. Yeah.
I have thoroughly enjoyed the conversation. I feel like you're doing some great stuff. And being open like this is, I don't take it lightly. So I really appreciate you being vulnerable with me. And definitely, I always tell people it doesn't have to be like an all or nothing. I recently adopted the mantra of all or something.
Yeah.
So as long as you're doing something and you're trying, so I just appreciate your willingness to be open with me today and all of your listeners. So it's going to help somebody for sure.